we must all begin to think of giving back, not necessarily in material form, but in the form of knowledge and experience. If we have been on corporate path and made mistakes, it will be part of us to allow those who come after us to do these things. So when I saw that, it's about our younger ones, inculcating this culture and discipline of corporate governance practices in them, I said I will do my best to do it. While I was really the theme of the event, I thought immediately about the 28 Foundation, 10,000 plus young African entrepreneurs from 4 African countries that we have empowered with non-fundable seed capital of $5,000 each. And in fact, last week Friday we announced on that cohort of 5,000. They will enjoy $25 million. That will bring to us $5 million. What came to my mind was just the need and the strategic importance of engaging our young ones at this stage, so that together we can help them to build institutions that will last and institutions that will surpass ours. You know, think of IBM and you think of Apple. IBM was there before Apple, but Apple is much stronger in all networks. So we want to see businesses of our young ones, those who are here and those who are listening virtually, rise and overtake what we want today. And when we talk about corporate governance, we speak about structures, about policies, about frameworks, about rules, about reports and reporting, and regulations that govern best practice. Governance is extremely important when you want to build your lives. We have seen how a lack of corporate governance can destroy institutions. Poor monitoring, poor oversight, poor corporate culture, unethical business practices, lack of integrity at leadership level, they all contribute to the destruction of companies, even the largest of institutions. Examples are abound all over the world, including our country, about companies and businesses that have not embraced strong corporate governance standards. When you hear that a large company has suddenly failed, is facing crisis, look closer. Most times, it's corporate governance failure. So the institutions to us, or to me, that prioritize governance and the discipline to meticulously and rigorously stay the path, always stay ahead of the curve and last. Our own story, to some of you, I believe some of you know, started way back 1997 at Standard Trust Bank in Nigeria here. We acquired a distressed bank. We outlined the strategy we wanted to take, and our board provided governance and oversight. We were very young then. And number one intent then was to become financially viable because we had just acquired a distressed bank. And number two intent was to become one of the top 10 banks in Nigeria. And we fixed time frames to achieve all of this. And our third year intent was to become one of the top 3 banks in Nigeria within a period of 10 years. This strategic intent on its own is just mere ideas and dreams. But what helped us, I call it the most strategic foundation, was strict adherence to governance. Even though at the time we were very young and the economic covered, we even didn't know what we were doing internally, But we believe, because we have seen firsthand what the lack of governance can do to the institutions we knew. And so to us, it was important that the basic foundation was strong adherence to governance principles. And this governance is not rocket science. At times it's not even, and I'll talk a bit about it, it's even the discipline and what you put in place and how you go about it meticulously. When you are a small institution, there's a tendency to overlook corporate governance. As you just think corporate governance is just for the big corporates, it's not for us. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But if you don't build from scratch that discipline, when you get there, you won't have it. So it's better from this as entrepreneurs, as new and upcoming directors, that we get it right from day one. So that when we get there, and it's a journey, by the way. You don't attain perfection day one. You just you make mistake, you realize when you make mistake, keep going. And so that when your institution gets bigger, the principles and the fundamentals and the philosophy is already ingrained in everything. I recall my first, not my first, but one of the first tutorials I got on board. I attended a board meeting, and my chairman then, Chief Ferdinand Alabra, some of you might know him in Port. So he said, at the end of board meeting, great man, quiet, calm, and he said, let me address you. But no, let me put it in writing. So he wrote to me how board proceedings, how to sit at board meeting, where the chairman sits, where the secretary sits, where the MD sits, how the deliberation, how you prepare. I'm like, is this in that? I thought it was just attend meeting and talk and go. So the learning started, from there. And again, this period of thinking about this session has led me again to remember Chief Alabora more. And I wish and I hope that most of you will remember the IOD, the leadership of IOD for creating this kind of platform. Because at times we don't know how important this is to us, but in future we'll see. The difference, look at companies' valuations. At times you see two companies have almost the same thing. But in terms of valuation, one is better. Because of some of these ingredients that are not immediately, you don't feel it, it's like later. But they make a difference. They are not tangible assets, but they are so strategic that they are more strategic than the tangible ones. And governance is so critical. Most times, the foundations we build at the early stages of a business determine the trajectory of the business in the long run. For us then, as Standard Trust Bank, it was crucial that we assembled a team of professionals that embodied the vision we had for the bank. We assembled a team with a high dissatisfaction with status quo and who wanted to conquer the world. We institutionalized an environment where a culture of discipline, say you come to work 8 o'clock, you have to come to work 8 o'clock. We say we do operate in a certain way, operate in a certain way. Those are little, but they all add to this corporate governance. Everything that makes an organization run in an optimal and professional way is all part of corporate governance. And I dare say that culture, discipline, of sacrifice, professionalism, integrity, these are basic tenets of sound corporate governance. Institutionalization of culture, work ethic, governance across organizations, the laid foundation for expansion of a business ultimately. In 2005, we orchestrated and had the Standard Trust Bank UBA merger, which remains today the largest corporate combination in sub-Saharan African corporate world, in the financial services space. And we emphasized and focused on, we were much younger then, and we knew we were taking on a huge organization. And again, we reminded ourselves that this journey is so critical that will further sharpen and improve our governance practices. And remember what I said before, corporate governance is a journey. Okay, so you continue, you make mistakes, you learn from it, you make further determination not to, and you keep improving.
To me,
important to talk about beginnings, and as I said here, because every year in Nigeria, across Africa, and the world, but let's talk about Africa, we have new CEOs and companies that are funded, but at times they do not have the requisite strong governance, corporate governance exposure and experience, and at times because they do not understand the importance of it, most times new business focus on profit, but indeed, what gives that profit to make, and what you make sure that it stays when you make that profit and that company uplift you, is the governance foundation in place. And this is why we must engage these are young businesses early on the importance of sandbox governance. Building to last is a marathon, not a sprint. And to all of us, we share a common aspiration. The common aspiration we share is that we want to see Nigeria and Africa develop. We want to create jobs in Nigeria and across Africa. We want our young ones to not be misled into extremism. Because indeed, what creates extremism is economic hardship. It's also poverty, above all, is the fact that you don't see the silver lining, you don't see a future. And so you ask yourself, why am I here? And so you take to someone, no one who has economic opportunity to want to do certain things. So, and if we realize that we need strong organizations, disciplined individuals to get there, then it becomes a collective responsibility of all of us to make sure that you at least commit to becoming an elaborate for others, holding someone, helping guiding someone so that he or she will succeed and can stand in the future and talk about that. We need to let our young ones know that they must not talk on us, because indeed, and at times, it can't be understood or that is our profit. No, but if the philosophy talking about African capitalism is about long-term commitment to development, thinking long-term, not just short-term, thinking of even the investors, certain decisions to make, and this is what I teach even my children about when they're complacent and then hanging in the long run, you enjoy. So it's not about thinking long-term. I think I have seen firsthand how that helps a lot. It has helped me to at times just forget the immediate and just move beyond today. In the short term, things work, but in the long term, if you're cutting corners, it's going to cause monumental problems and challenges. For our young entrepreneurs and CEOs, some of them, founders of their companies, it is important that they set tone of good governance from the top and from the start of operations. Corporate governance is not their job. Leadership must want the top, and we must show that this is important to us, and then everyone in the organization will follow. If leaders expect others to do in a certain way and do it differently, it doesn't work. So for our young entrepreneurs, they must start from you, the leader. Walk the talk, show the example, and progressively follow. One of our businesses is transport into hotel. This hotel. And each time I come here, since we took over, I've always paid for my room, for my accommodation. And so when someone will not tell me he or she cannot pay or want to not allow someone to pay, I find it difficult to justify. But if I have to put myself in that, and they also over time need to do their own things. It is crucial for young companies to make the right decisions, objective decisions, professional decisions. We, by nature of the fact that we are African, we are brothers keepers, we communities. Sentiments will come in business. But the truth is, so when you say corporate governance, it's not just about anyone that has corporate in the air and so on. No, it's totally a very good question to say. If our recruitments, people go through the recruitment process and you make a subjective, suboptimal decision, and people see clearly what is right and what is wrong, and you don't take the right person because of either family pressure or friends, pressure from friends or society pressure, you're eating away. Your strategy, you're chopping the fabric of that, your foundation, kind of way you want to run. And with time, others follow. If contractors want to come, they want for business, you have a process. At the end of the day, you want to undermine that process, it's not good. Each of these, so it's not just the big things, these little, seemingly little things, they all add up. Over time, you see a culture of excellence, a culture of professionalism, a culture of meritocracy. The best person gets what is right. That is what we should all invite, especially as we're building new organizations. Decisions such as who sits on the board, the composition of boards, the diversity of board members, and the different perspectives are fundamental to the long-term aspirations of small and medium and even big businesses. And for our young ones, I think I always advise young entrepreneurs to be very careful who you bring to your board. At times, some people want to have big names on their boards. Big names cause big problems too, at times. You need to make sure that your board selection and composition aligns with your medium to long-term vision. I know as a young CEO then in Standard Trust Bank, one of our directors, some will remember, but by the time Studio became CBN governor and had the consultation, Standard Trust Bank had almost, we were over 25 billion capital, we were over 20 billion capital. Because we decided that we should recapitalize profit. We were not sharing it, let's recapitalize. It was almost as if we saw that the day would come where capital would become important. But we were doing it because we were ambitious, we wanted to grow more, so we needed capital. And I recall one of our directors, always a major debate at board meeting. We must declare that, we must declare. I remember there's something, me and I need to end my dividend immediately because I don't have any more years. In fairness to him, from his own perspective, there was sense in it. But we managed, at some point, okay, let's do a certain small percentage. Then, because we wanted, we were integrated online real time, we had about 100 projects across the country, so we were building out, we needed money for technology, etc. And we said, so it affects almost every new business. You need to be careful, the kind of way you assemble. And you almost like at times get experienced people to help you interview with your prospective directors. Or tell what you want to have. Forget big names. For me, and I've seen a lot of people make mistakes. What is important, quality decisions we are going to be making at board. Who has the knowledge, the expertise, the experience to contribute? Doors will open. Don't worry about that to a large extent. Doors will, business, and I speak from experience. I've been in business for some time now. And in business, get the fundamentals right. Business will come. Get the fundamentals right. Business will come. Have the right team, discipline team, put the right culture in place, be professional at what you do, let people understand the destination, reward the right people, don't reward people based on sentiment, and make decisions. Make tough decisions when necessary, because that's what leadership is all about. In the long run, success will come. It's almost inevitable. And then when success comes, the humility and the ability to manage success becomes another thing. Because some people grow to success, and their success consumes them. because they now think they can walk on waters. And that's when the problem starts. So, but anyway, so we need the legislation of corporates to be strong in the fundamentals of corporate governance. We need as many of them to survive. It goes back to the need for more job creation, so we must all do our part to educate our young generation on how to sustainably grow an institution. When an institution is big, corporate governance is more crucial. So it's important for those who are starting, but when you're big, it becomes even more important, because suddenly you need to realize that you become too big and that a failure can become a steady failure. So the kind of risk you take when you're growing, you now need to manage differently. When Standard Trust and the UBA merged, we automatically, in 2005, automatically became the biggest bank in front of the asset, etc. All fundamental school. But we knew it was also time to re-examine our governance architecture and practices. You know, then I send your Standard program, say, this loan and providing because time to act on hundreds of millions, maybe 300 million, 200 million. Then you go to a big monster like UBA, and you can do billions for no 1.6. And not billions of today, billions of 2005. You know, so automatically you begin to appreciate more the significance of sound corporate governance. And that's why you need the word corporate governance architecture. If we did not start the journey earlier, we will go to the journey like more than purpose to manage success. The more systemically important an institution is, the more it requires robust governance structures for it to remain at the top. I think yesterday, in America, you also President Biden, some of you, he was going for surgery. Just go to small surgery, we handed over power to his clients because of the medical procedure that prevented from properly carrying the function of the state executive, the president. You know, it seems simple. In fact, so when I saw it, I put on a group chat, and then someone said, wow, wonderful, so it's a good statement, the VP is supposed to be to become, that she can be president, is much more fundamental than that. Look at the discipline of about 30 minutes. 30 minutes she became president, and when she was done, it was time. That is government. And I want to share with you, if that would further inspire some people, yes, I know my host. My own story. So as CEO of UBA, 2010, the central bank governor came up, then central bank governor came up with a policy that if you had done 10 years, you step aside. And then I started doing it, so then I had done 13.5 years, so I had to step aside. So I recall it was Abuja, we had the board meeting, the central bank meeting in someone bank CEOs. And at the end of the meeting, when we announced it, the next day, that day, I told my chairman, someone executive emergency board meeting, and the next morning we met, midday morning we met, and I informed the board, for press, everyone met there. And the board's reaction was quite interesting. At the board level, almost every member of the board, not almost, I can't remember what level I did otherwise. The board size of 18, I think I knew that CBN cannot impose 10 or 24 private laws. And I knew further that we should go to court to challenge it. Our members in the board at the board that day, I said no to our board members. I said there are 5 constituencies to look at. then let's look at customers of UBA. Customers of UBA here that UBA has done before Central Bank. Will you make the customer say with UBA or not? He said, customer will, I told him, I said, customer will begin to put diversify his baskets. And then so that constituency does not favor us going to court. I said, number two, let's look at the shareholders of UBA. If you hear that UBA has gone to court with the regulator in a regime like this, and in a country like this, with, the substation one about the judicial system, if you hear that, would you support, would you remain a shareholder? If you dump your shares, the shares of the market, when they saw that, I'll buy back. So I said, that means that constituency does not support our going to court. I said, the third constituency, our staff. If our staff here, our CBN to court, on this, the good staff, because the service obligation, what you have, the assets that are available, and people translate to the private and the trust. Would the staff, the good staff will start looking for a job because they don't know what will happen. I said, so that constituency does not support us going to court. As a fourth constituency, as a regulator, CBN, the audacity and impunity, so to speak, to take CBN to court, they will show you that they are CBN. When they finish with you, you will not even have a bank to sit on the floor. And then, so that constituency, fourth constituency, does not favor this. I said, there's one more constituency. I said, Elumelu. Would Elumelu like to continue? Yes, he would like to continue, because this Sunday. So it's 1/5. 4/5. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I appeal to the board, let's proceed to appoint a new CEO. So we sat there and appointed a new CEO. That was why, if you recall, UP appointed a new CEO within 24 hours of that. That was what happened. That was small governance in practice. Now, let me explain why this is important. Governance is not just one person's responsibility. And most times, the biggest test of governance is when it affects you. When it affects the ability to step back and look at things more holistic and subordinate self in the decision you make can be a game changer. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I thank God and I thank our God that we made that decision for me to lead at the time. Because I would have still been in that world, but the world I live in is much more fun than that. And the fact at Elumelu Group, we are an institution, we started, again, because of that, we started Elumelu, the Elumelu Foundation, following my time at UBA. Elumelu is a family-owned business that has interest in several sectors of the Nigerian and African economy, from financial services, power, energy, real estate, technology, hospitality, and here. With a group as diverse as Elumelu, we interact with different regulators, as well as play in some of the most regulated countries across in the world. UBA is the only African bank that's deposit taken by the United States, all of USA, all of Africa, both North Africa, Southern Africa. And it is not easy to operate in that regulatory environment. It's not easy at all. But we're able to because we started that journey long ago. So, depending on what you're not even depending, the journey to building a business to last on sound governance principles and practices is critical for sustained growth in the business. So, to be continuously successful is to be driven by core values, sound culture and practices, and again, continue what I keep saying, sound corporate governance. Yes. In 2012, I think, 2012, following again the Central Bank of Nigeria's policy that banks should divest their investments that are not core to banking. If you want to know, some of you have worked in UBA as elders before, and shareholders and co. So UBA was a financial services group. We had registrar business, we had stockbroking business, we had investment banking, we had properties, different businesses. That again was to us another test of our commitment to governance and professionalism. We were advised, as some other banks did in the country at the time, some people could have come together to buy those subsidiaries we were having. But we decided we will not go that route. Rather, we should share those assets, those companies, we should transfer the existing shareholders of UBA to become shareholders of those companies. So instead of us, so UBA registrar, which is now Africa Prudential, UBA Secure, UBA Investment Bank, which is now UBA Capital, which is now United, all, some of you are shareholders there. What you own in the bank, by presenting with you automatically you own in that place. We did this again because of our commitment to this and the need to make sure that the businesses are run properly and that people are not shortchanged. And when you do things like this, they have telling implications in so many ways, especially among the staff who do the business acquisition. My message to our upcoming business leaders, and even to those who are there, because in Christianity and as you go to a church or mosque almost every Friday, every Sunday. You hear the scripture, you hear the sermon every time, and it's being reinforced and reinforced and reinforced. So when it's being shared, it's not because you don't know, but if anything, you can fix more and keep reinforcing what you believe in. That's why my wife, she doesn't joke with the IOD sessions. Whenever time for a session, she attends, she will be reading all the they are reading case studies. And I encourage her, and I encourage my colleagues. Because, and by the way, IOD, you guys well done. We need to keep nourishing. We need to keep nourishing the mind so that, because it's a fundamental step and platform for us to bring business into class, and that's what we want to do. We need to realize that to be continuously successful is to be driven by core values, sound culture and practices, and sound corporate governance. Corporate governance is all-encompassing in scope and in the drivers. It requires looking at the organization from a 360-degree perspective, from implementation of robust policies and procedures to hiring the right people with the relevant skills and competencies, objective, to implementing the right systems, doing things in a structured and predictable manner, and keeping records. Corporate governance has come a long way, in part, thanks to efforts of industry regulators and bodies such as the IOD for always pushing for higher standards of corporate governance. And by the way, Mrs. Father, who was the president before, we are happy that she's the chair president of the African Prudential Affairs. But how do we imbibe the culture in our younger ones? We made mistakes. We must strive so they don't repeat the mistakes we have made. Let it be that we have suffered for them. Let them share from our own service. And so for IOD, I say, from time to time, it might be nice when you're organizing some of these your sessions, webinars, sessions, seminars, to invite a few people, like we've done today, who have some ideas with this, to share at times our failures, the wrong things we've done, and how things could have done better. It will help those who are coming behind to them. At the Tony Elumelu Foundation, part of the business training our entrepreneurs receive is on the importance of governance systems to the sustainable growth of the enterprises. We believe that it's not just about giving $5,000, and what's more important is preparing you and capacitizing you to manage that $5,000 when you get it. I believe there's a lack of understanding of what governance is, and it is reserved. They seem to be reserved, thinking that it's reserved for the public listed companies and large companies. But we know that is not the case. Continuous engagement and socialization at forums such as this will help to inculcate the right spirit in these young businesses as they attempt to scale. We need our own job. We need our own Apple. First, only to cross $1 trillion in market capitalization. We need our own Microsoft. We need to start building institutions to last. We need to build institutions that will not start with doing and die with doing. We need to have a JP Morgan. Look at all the great companies in the world today. In fact, look at Apple, a relatively new organization. Its job is gone. But after his death, when the company hit and became the first one in the world with $1 trillion in market cap. To me, that should be our aspiration. That should be our ambition. That is what all of us are working towards. The solution to that aspiration coming through is sound corporate governance. So to IoT, I thank you and welcome all the great companies for having me. Thank you very much.